want to develop product sense like world-class product managers, founders, and leaders. I'm going to share a key tool that has taught me to think with greater clarity and creativity. That tool is the product one-pager. But to really master it, you need to understand the 4 parts that make up the problem space, the aha moment that will immediately improve your product sense, and defining 3 execution details that will help all cross-functional teams to rally towards a common vision. You can download my product one-pager template to follow along. Let's get started. Why is the product one-pager even important? Let me start with a story about General Patton, who said, "Don't tell people how to do things, tell them what to do and let them surprise you with their results." This is called the commander's intent, and it's a common military tool that's used during mission planning. The commander's intent is a clear articulation of the mission's goals and what success looks like. This means that generals and leaders want to answer only the highest level why questions, identifying the purpose behind the operation, and at a push, vaguely sketching out the sort of stages that might be necessary. The troops are then given the flexibility to adapt their decisions to the changing circumstances at the front. This is exactly how the product one-pager works. It serves to define the opportunity at hand, the value that can be created for customers and the company, and a hypothesis about how the team can start executing. But the second reason why the product one-pager is so important is because it serves as a decision gate in the product's lifecycle. For the one-pager, the product manager must work with cross-functional teams to research a problem space, empathize with potential customers, brainstorm possible solutions, and structure all of this thinking together. However, all of this is done before any code is written and any marketing activities are done. At Amazon, product managers spend 2 to 4 months writing their version of the product one-pager, which they call the PR FAQ. While that format is unique to Amazon, the purpose is pretty much the same. Only about 40% of PR FAQs actually get approved for execution, and the remaining 60% don't make it past that PR FAQ or product one-pager stage. The value there for those 60% is the fact that the opportunities were fully fleshed out and thought through before being put on the shelf for a later time or once more details emerge. And so the one-pager helps decide where the company's valuable and limited resources should be spent on opportunities that have the highest probability of success. I've created my one-pager template taking inspiration from Amazon, Google, and many product teams. So use it as a baseline, but feel free to adapt it to your specific situation or company culture. And to showcase what this one-pager could look like for an actual product, I put myself into the shoes of the PM behind the AirBnB Experiences product. So let's see how that fleshes out. Now, I started off with a headline that briefly describes what the product is in 1 to 2 lines. And this basically talks about how this aligns with Airbnb's mission, why this is important for Airbnb, and what the opportunity is for the company. Think of this as a quick tweet or a quick elevator pitch for your product. Next, you want to dive into the problem space. Now, I've talked about how traveling is such a unique experience, and traveling involves not just picking off a location or place to stay, but also about planning activities to do when you're in that new city or new town that you've never visited before. The biggest pain point that a lot of travelers have around this is that they don't know locals, they don't know what the unique things to do are in that city, and they don't want to be bombarded with SEO based websites that they find on Google or SEO focused YouTube videos that they're seeing from travel influencers. They want to meet real people who have lived in those places and experience the world and experience the city through their eyes. So that's really the problem space that we want to tackle with Airbnb Experiences. We've also put in a bunch of quotes from our current customers that hints or talks about this problem and how they face this problem whenever they're traveling or even when they're using Airbnb. For the target audience, I've broken this up into broadly the 2 sides of the Airbnb marketplace, which is travelers on one side and hosts on the other side. And each of them have their unique challenges and unique perspectives. I've further broken down each of these 2 sides into two buckets of their own. And so when we take this to execution, we can figure out for the first phase of the product or the MVP, which of these buckets of target audiences or customer groups we want to focus on. And now coming to a really important part of the one pager, why is this important? Why is this an opportunity that Airbnb as a company should be looking at? And here you want to talk about how this opportunity aligns with Airbnb's vision and mission. You want to talk about how big of an opportunity it is, how important or big of a problem this is for travelers, and how this can change the trajectory of the company's growth and revenues. So here we've talked about how Airbnb, their mission is to create a world where anyone can belong to anywhere. And while travel destinations and bookings are an important part of that, the experiences of going and visiting those places is arguably even more important than where you stay. So Airbnb Experiences aligns really well with the company's vision and mission and should be a core component of the platform going forward. This can add 5 to 10% revenue growth in the next 5 years and up to 50% growth in 5 years after that. So this is a massive opportunity. Even if we just capture 2% of our existing customer base, that's 3 million users to start with, which is a amazing number that any new company or startup would give anything to have in their first year of launching a product. And now coming to product marketing, which is the aha moment, which will help you crystallize exactly what this product is about and help you build product sense really well. While this is only a few lines to write, this requires to really put yourself into the shoes of the customer, understand the value that they are getting and how they would see it, talk about the differentiation, and put all of this together in a concise statement that is easy to understand and easy to empathize with. So product marketing is a essential section which makes you figure out how you are going to package and talk about this product from the lens of your customer. So you want to write 1 to 2 lines that is going to give the key details here. And these can probably be what you put at the top above the fold on your website on the home page. And so you want to spend a lot of time making sure that you really nail this one. Next, we get to the how, but keep in mind that this is still at a high level because this is at the product one pager level. So we want to first start with defining what are the core parts of this product that we will need to build and define. And so here I've defined that we need to build the platform integration, where how is Airbnb Experiences going to be a part of the overall Airbnb platform. We want to empower hosts to be able to list these experiences and get a dashboard, get reports, communicate with their guests, things like that. And then we want to add a feedback loop with user reviews and ratings that's going to help hosts better serve their travelers and vice versa. And it's going to help new travelers find and discover the best experiences in a city that they're traveling to. So there's a little bit of sketching out of the wireframes and low fidelity mocks and user flows here. This is something that you as a product manager can do yourself, or you can get help from your product designer on this. But this should be something that you can go up to a whiteboard and just sketch out. This isn't about the design itself, but it's about the organization of thought process and organization of flows onto the platform. And now we have defined a little bit of the product beyond that, of what it's going to need in terms of solutioning, differentiation, etc. I've also listed out a bunch of future roadmap items which we will not take up in the first version of the Airbnb Experiences product, but those can be things that we developed later on. Now coming to success, we want to define what are the success metrics that this product is going to shoot towards and is going to be able to actually achieve. And you want to keep the company's North Star metric in mind here. So for Airbnb, increasing the number of bookings on the platform is their North Star metric. And so we see that even with just 2% of the user base using this product in the first 12 months, that's at least 3 million unique bookings on the platform. Repeat bookings, etc., will push that number even higher. And we're saying that this can go up to millions, in the double digit millions, very soon. So this is a big product and something of a big opportunity for Airbnb. We want to also define some qualitative metrics here, where we want to look at user feedback and see that it's positive. We want to see that there's no security or there's no other negative experiences here, because we are facilitating the meeting of two people on a platform. The other company you can think of in this space is Uber, which has had its share of negative experiences when you put two people together who are strangers. So how do we keep track of that and make sure that we are only coming out with positive feedback for this product? And there's a bunch of open questions now, or open points, which still need to be answered in later stages of this product lifecycle, particularly in the product requirements document, PRD, or the engineering document, engineering PRD, engineering one pager, things like that. So those are things that will have to be figured out during the solutioning, but which we will not worry about at this product one pager stage. But we will still note that these are things and complexities that have to be figured out at a later stage as the product is being developed. So my one pager of Airbnb experiences is just the start. It needs a lot more detailing before I would be confident enough to present this to Airbnb executives. So consider all of that, but it should give you a good idea of what a product one pager looks like, what are the different sections that go into it, and what is the thinking and rationale behind even writing a product one pager. Remember that the product one pager's objective is to decide if this is a problem worth solving or not, and what a feasible solution could look like, where the teams should get started and where they should begin their execution journey. But now when you're writing all of these documents like the product one pager, PRD, etc., make sure that you're not falling prey to the innovator's dilemma. That's exactly what I cover in this video, where I talk about how Airbnb used the theory of disruptive innovation to jumpstart the actual Airbnb platform, and how Brian Chesky is a deep observer of innovator's dilemma and Ray Christensen.